I said I was going for a carton of eggs. Guess who's bazack? I said I was going to get that gallon of milk. Guess who's bazack? I was gone for a while. Guess who's bazack? Guess who's bazack? Hey, welcome back to the show. This is Meet Me on the 50. This is fuck off. Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is Meet Me on the 50. This is the Director's Corner, featuring Director of Band, Southern University, Mr. Kedric Taylor. But before we get into that, make sure you are a subscriber to this channel by clicking that little red box that says subscribe. Do that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and comment below. Just say something, man. Check in on your boy. Check in on your boy. Say, how you been? What you been up to, Ed? Even the haters, y'all can comment too. Everybody welcome here on Meet Me on the 50. Everybody. Anyway, hey man, welcome back to Meet Me on the 50, bro. A lot has transpired over this fall season, man. We done had some great bands, had some great events, had some events that didn't go down. Sorry to hear it. Had folks imitating my name. Had all kind of crazy shit, man. People just often imitate it. That's very funny. We got Mr. Taylor on here because they got a little slogan that Southern say, often imitated, never duplicated. Can't duplicate me, bruh. You couldn't if you tried. Anyway, hey man, we gonna have some good discussion today with Mr. Taylor, Southern University's band director. He's been there since 2018. Actually, he's been director since 2018. He came on staff in 2014, I believe. But let's go ahead and get into it, bruh. This is Kedric Taylor, Southern University band director, man. The Director's Corner starts now. Let's go.
Meet me on the 50. 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 Time to go watch some marching bands. Time to go watch some marching bands. That'll head to head who takes the ground. Meet me on the 50.
All right, my bad on that. We good though. You saw that red light come on? Camera good. Mic is good. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, man, welcome back to the show. This is Mr. Taylor, bro. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. Just thankful to be here, healthy and well. I'm doing good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah. How's the you out in Baton Rouge right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Baton Rouge.
What's the weather like down there?
It's a little chilly, man. Unfortunately, we just came from Chicago. So the weather a little chilly here too. So I was like, man, I wasn't expecting to come home to all this cold weather, but hey, man, here we are.
Yeah, what's going on out in Chicago, family?
No, man, the staff and I went to conference Midwest.
Oh yeah,
music educators all across the United States, and come in, basically share ideas. So it was a gregreat conference, man.
I forgot about that, man. How was that? How was the conference?
Oh man, it was great, man. It was great. Just to see each other, fellowshipping with our people, man, seeing all the different people that are a part of the music field, and just to be able to, share stories, like-minded people, So all of that was great. Just reiterating all the things that we kind of know, and it may be some new stuff that's out there. Hearing great ensembles, it's kind of like revival for church.
Yeah, kind of get you energized, man.
Get you going back for the next semester, finish strong.
Yeah. Is there anything like that leads into the season though? Because it seems like something like that would be something you would want to come off that high and go straight into the season, to the fall season. Anything like that happened over the summertime?
Man, we actually don't. I think everybody pretty much getting ready for their camps. I think everybody, they do have some professional development, but not to that level. But, that would be a good idea, man, to get everybody pumped up and excited. The most schools do it for their own school district, where they'll have a thing where everybody come back together and they have a professional development, and you break off with your colleagues and do little games that you don't really get towards music, but
Yeah. Well, in case y'all don't know, man, this is Mr. Kedric Taylor right here, man. Product of Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Went to Mattie T. Blunt High School. Graduated from there. What year you graduated from Mattie T. Blunt?
2002.
2002, man. Went straight to Southern University. Got up out of there in 2005. You know what I'm saying? Marched for the Human Jukebox. Did your thing there. Then your first job was at it wasn't Baker. You worked at another high school before Baker. What school was that? Jackson. Okay, took over Jackson, then went over to Baker High School.
Yeah.
In 2008 all the way to 2014. 2014, he got that call. Man. He came on staff over Southern University, man. Was on staff in 2014 all the way to 2018. And here we are today, man. 2018, he became head band director for the Southern University bands, man. So how's it feel, bro?
Oh, man, I feel great. I always prayed to be in a power position where I could tell people the truth. Wasn't a dream to be the band director of Southern University, but I always wanted to be in a position where, people like listening to people that they think have a status or something like that. If a local person on the street is like, they don't feel like they can learn from, but you're always supposed to be teachable, coachable, and trainable. No matter who it is, students can teach you something, So I'm always open to learning new things. I'm always open to new ideas. Being innovative and creative, not staying with the same things that we did 20, 30 years ago, even though you always want to keep your legacy alive by, keeping those traditions in place, but you want to tweak them a little bit too, because, people get tired of saying the same thing. So just kind of like add to what we already doing here at Southern University. But I've been enjoying myself, man. I've been having fun.
Yeah, we talked about that last time, man. If y'all just coming on to the channel, man, we interviewed Mr. Taylor maybe a year or two ago, and we talked about exactly what he said, man, just bringing something to the table, aside from tradition is always going to be in place, especially a strong program like a Southern or a Jackson, a bunch of programs that have a strong foundation, man. And we talked about how do you put your own spin on something like that, man? It's like you already got the framework, you got the blueprint, so it's kind of hard to kind of say, all right, I'm going to put my touch on it, you know what I'm saying? So how's that been, we talked about this when you was brand new. So you think you've been able to implement some of your ideas and things that, that you brought to the table?
Man, as crazy as it sounds, man, we've been doing a lot of new stuff. We did 8 new shows this year. A lot of people don't look at that when they judging bands. I like to put it out there and let them know. I teach people how to do something and how you should look at something, because we just look at what they played in the 5th quarter. We don't look at the whole game. We don't look at the actual halftime show, like the creativity that goes into the shows. Like, most people see Southern, they doing up step 2, or they doing the star, they doing the circle. They don't look at the attention to details and all of that. This year, man, we did a lot of new things. We did boxes, interlocking 3 boxes, and we made them come out, came back in, rotated them. Like, man, we did a clock in Houston. I don't know if people caught on, but the beat was going on. The song we played was "And the Beat Goes On," and the clock was moving. A lot of people missed it. It went over their heads, So that was one of the things that I thought that was really, different for Southern, because, we don't normally do stuff like that. We do line drills. We do mostly 8 to 5, line drills. And so, man, we did a lot of different things. Even some of the things that we did later on in the season, we seen FAMU, man, we did 5 hearts. And we basically acted out the 5 heartbeats. We had the best, coldest singers in Louisiana.
Which game was that? Who was y'all playing against?
FAMU.
Okay, yeah. I vaguely remember. I gotta go back and watch that one again.
Yeah, man. You gotta go check it out. Man. I mean, and people would give me about people all the time. They always say, "Oh, Southern just play loud." Man, that means you haven't been listening to Southern University Band. If you think Southern don't play with dynamics, that means you have not been listening to Southern University Band. We play marches. You can go research it all. People just don't share it. They share the most popular thing, and that's what people think. That's what you do.
Well, I want to touch on that, Mr. Taylor. Let's kind of sequence this a little bit, but I do want to get on that because a lot of comments is being made out here, bro. A whole lot of, a lot of platforms, and it's always a good thing when platforms are starting to grow in different viewpoints, because that's going to help push the culture when you got different ideas coming along. So that's always a positive thing. But we're gonna get there. So before we get to that point, I want to you got a strong staff of people working with you. You got Mr. Todd. You got new hire, Mr. Kenny Collins.
Yeah.
You know, and Mr. Rauf. How do you pronounce his last name?
Mr. Rauf.
Yeah. So, I was watching. I want to say it was Miles, Southern versus Miles, 5th quarter. Yeah, it was. You gave the baton to that young brother, Mr. Collins, man. And I don't think a lot of people saw that, but the entire 5th quarter, besides maybe one when you directed one song, man.
Yeah.
What that shows me that you have confidence, obviously, in the brother, but what made you make that decision? Like you say, hey, Mr. Collins, it's on you. You got the 5th.
Well,
was that planned? Was that planned, or was that on the spur of the moment kind of thing?
Now, Mr. Todd actually got sick.
Okay.
Mr. Todd got sick, and I told Mr. Collins, I said, hey, man, you know these songs better not do him. He said, I don't know the songs. I said, well, you better learn them. But no, Mr. Collins is very talented. He's been arranging. I can remember when he was in the band when I was on staff, and he wrote this song, Back at One. Mm-hmm. And I heard it, and I was like, man, this kid got talent, to be able to be in college and be able to hear those chords like that. Because, see, a lot of people think arranging, you just slap some notes on the paper.
That ain't all you got to do? I didn't know that.
Man.
I'm messing with you.
hey, most people think that that's all band directed is, but that's the story for another day. But Mr. Collins was able to, how you can relate to a song. One thing about Southern University, they're going to always play the right chords, and you're going to be able to recognize that melody. Mm-hmm. Now, we might add a little color in there. We might add some counter melodies, but you're going to always follow along with that song. You're going to always hear those chords and that bass match the melody. Mm-hmm. That's the beginning stage to having a great arrangement. Not saying you transcribing the part from the actual song, but you want to make sure you get as close to that song as possible so you can follow along and sing it. You don't want to change a chord in a measure where you listening for a major chord and they go minor or something. You're like, oh, man, hold on. This part's supposed to be lush and plush, but y'all have made it something totally different. So just him coming up with that, that was a hard tune, Back at One. I mean, it's a hard tune to write. Ballads are very hard to write.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. So, you broke it down just now, and I don't think anybody's ever broken down for me that way as far as, their mindset or how they approach an arrangement. But you made a comment on our last show, and I think it was something to the effect of the audience doesn't care how you wrote something. They care about what you played. So do you remember that comment? Do you remember what you meant by that? Yeah, so, I mean, that kind of gets – the way I interpreted that comment is basically saying, you got to play for your audience. And most of the time, your audience – aren't people out there that's analyzing everything you just said about how you write your music. You know what I'm saying? So who is it that you're trying to satisfy as an arranger, as a director? You got a stadium full of people. Do you play the tunes that's going to get them on their feet, get them jamming? You know what I'm saying? That, or do you put all that work into that arrangement for the band purists out there and all the band directors? How do you approach that? How do you satisfy both of them?
Man, that's a great question. For us, Dr. Griggs taught us you got to educate first. Mm-hmm. Number one, you educate them. Then you entertain. So we are an institution of higher learning, right? Mm-hmm. We are always supposed to educate our audience on what it is that we do at this level. But you also are in an entertainment business. You got to be able to have music that's conducive for every environment. So when we at the football games, of course, nobody don't want to hear you play no Mozart. They don't want to hear you play no Beethoven. No school I know go out to a football game and play that because they want to be entertained at the football game. Most people out there drinking beer and eating popcorn and eating hamburgers and stuff like that, nachos. Mm-hmm. Man, that's an atmosphere like a movie theater. That's what you do when you go to movie theater. You want to be entertained by the movie, but you eat your popcorn and So I look at our audience. We have a diverse audience, very diverse. We catch it at our football games. And what I mean by we catch it, if the team losing, the human jukebox got to be just that much better. So in order to have music that fits everybody, I always tell them we need to have a diverse book. That's why we're the human jukebox. Mm-hmm. We have our old school songs. We're going to have marches. We're going to have definitely rap songs. We're going to have R&B. We're going to have some gospel. we're gonna have whatever you could think of in our book. And I even incorporated some classical in there this year. When I did a woman's work, and I did for Elise before we did it, just to show people that we are musicians. These are student musicians. We are students of the game, but we showing you that not only do we play R&B, but we also can play classical and play it at a high level. It ain't like they just attempted to play it; they executed it. You heard the trumpets doing stuff like digga 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 digga. That's double tonguing. How many fans you heard put in an arrangement some double tonguing?
Not in marching band season.
But nobody will look at that. They just look at, oh, they played that.
But you know what? you know what the word on the street was when I heard it. It was executed just like you said. But there was 2 schools that joined the SWAC this season, man. And you know, a lot of them are taking credit. But hey, we pushing the envelope. We making the SWAC want to play more musical. Now, is there any truth to that statement, man? Any truth to that?
If y'all go back and research Southern University from 2014 on back, what year you want to go to. Since me and Mr. Simmons been arranging for the band, Mr. Simmons always been doing some crazy stuff, arranging, and I wrote the piss out of songs. We've been raised the bar. Like I don't think nobody realizes it. Like we get all the views we get because of the people can feel what we writing, you know, and that's on all levels, you know. So when they talking about we stole, man, we've been doing it.
They ain't say still, and I think it's more so just, you know, they trying to say they brought a different element to the SWAC that other bands are starting to incorporate. That's kind of how I'm interpreting it.
Nah, man. You know, for us, man, we've been writing like that since way back. Man, if they go back and listen to 2014, I wrote a tune called Chicago. The bass line on that thing was so crazy. I don't know nobody that's out there that can play it. And I won't pull it back out because that was written for that band.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? We don't write music based on just a writer. We write it on what instrumentation we have. So, you know, right now we have, you know, a different group of students. So that the music that we played this year probably won't be good for next year because this band was able to execute those tunes that we put out.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, well, you talked about the fans that get on you. You know what I'm saying? So if the fans need to hear a song, will they come at you and say, hey, man, that song you played last year, man. So what do you do in a situation where you know it's going to get the crowd hype, but you don't want to pull it back out because it's a different band now? So what do you do?
Well, you know, we have some standards that we play.
Right.
And we can't let them go. Talking outside of your neck, they want to hear it. I don't care what it is. They want to hear do what you want to. They want to hear before I let go. So our fans, those things, we don't even record them and put them on YouTube anymore. But we play them pretty much every game. You know, they want to hear that type of stuff. But they do want, the younger generation want to hear the stuff that get them hype. Football team want the hype music. So usually we play the fight song coming out for the football team. But, you know, the fans don't know this, but I meet with the football team and the coaches, and they'll tell me, like, man, Mr. Taylor, this is what we want to come out to this year. Can y'all make it happen? Like, you know what? We're going to make it happen. And we'll write it for the football team, and the fans looking like, why y'all ain't playing the fight song? You know, that's what we used to. But the team want to get hyped, so that's who we gearing it towards at that moment. And the younger generation understand what's going on, so that make them want to come to the games and shake their pom-poms as well. You know, but we mix it up during the game. Sometimes it depends on what the game called for. If it's a touchdown, we want to get something that's going to keep the fans going and keep them up hype.
Yeah. Well, y'all opened up the season against Troy University, man.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, because I think a lot of people didn't really give that the attention that it deserved because Troy ain't no slouch.
No, they not.
You know? And Troy, one of them bands outside of HBCU culture that is about, they want to smoke, man. You know, they gonna come at you. They got a little aggression to them, is what I'm saying. So they came out to the, maybe I'll link it somewhere in the video, man. But Troy came out to the field. You know, they played some tunes. You know, the little fifth quarter, basically, man. Did you expect them to come at y'all with that vice versa, man? You know, they try to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? What was your reaction when you heard it?
I'm like Nick Saban when it comes to scouting. I'm always ready. I knew they played that. I told the band all week. I said, look. These are the songs they play. I pulled the YouTube clips up and everything because we can't never. I don't never sleep on nobody. I don't care who it is. You know the opponent and know what they're gonna play. Because any given day somebody could come with something and you don't have an answer for it. So I knew Troy was gonna come with that. I knew it. I didn't expect it at the time they played it, but I
Yeah.
knew they were gonna play it. So we was prepared for it. So it was funny to me because I had told the staff, I said, "Hey man, make sure y'all got an answer for it."
Yeah, I
When
mean they was on the field bouncing and jumping. I'm saying
Yeah.
these cats out here getting it, and
Yeah,
y'all came back at them with that IDGAF, man.
yeah.
You know, you ain't have to do them like that, kid. But
Nah,
you know,
man, we
but
was having fun. But I like battles like that because man, you know, they know it was about fun, man. The students was like, man, you guys sound great. You guys sound great. And I was like, man, y'all sound really good too as well. That's what it's about, man. We all educators. They make playing in the band for the HBCU coaches almost like we on the football field. Like sometimes we need to put the pads on, man. The way the fans make it, you know.
Hell yeah. So what are you bored with the music today, man? Like what you think about the music today? As far as you a Pensman, man. So what do you think about the music you hearing? Are you bored?
Man, they make it hard, bro. They really do.
It's repetitive, right?
Yeah, Bruno Mars came out with an album at the end of the season. I think everybody would have probably wrote every song on that album. Because he just had a lot of heat on there for bands. You could make it out to be some very musical stuff. Man, I'm a musician, bro. I love music. Man, when I'm playing something, I gotta feel it. I gotta feel those chords. Students will tell you when it's a fat chord coming, they already know I'm gonna do something. I gotta feel it.
Yeah.
It kind of, it's the something that you feel within, bro. It's like a soul searching thing that you gotta have it. And I enjoy the rap songs too, the ones that got substance to them, man. Not the ones where you gotta add so much to it where you don't even know what the song is, man. I don't like that. But they make it hard today, man, because they don't drop a lot of musical stuff because people are starting to do remakes and they just doing a little simple bass line and I give you a melody and they don't even put chords to it. It make it difficult. So,
it does, bro. It does.
People expect for you to have a haymaker every game, but there's not enough music out there to do that. And pretty much all of the old stuff, people have pretty much wrote all of that. The really good old music it's been written. It's a few gems out there that probably haven't been written, but half of the population that listen to this stuff don't know it. You might have a good little 20, 30 people that at the game that be like, oh man, I know what that is. A lot of stuff they don't know it, man, because it's not in their time.
Right.
So I would say that the music today is very challenging for any arranger, man. Because you got to add so much, and then they got these triplet rhythms, bro. It sound like like the Jamaican, man. It's like they rapping those and they actually holding a pitch. So it's like you got to write it. It's like, oh man, come on.
It's all Migos' fault, man. Migos started that mess, man.
I ain't think you realize Migos did.
They started that mess
in 2014, and I didn't know nothing about Migos, but he did when he did no effing with.
Yeah.
They had all those triples in now, and they look like every rapper doing triples now.
Yeah, it's like when you bring home a new puppy, man. It's like cute little puppy, but he start terrorizing. He ain't no cute little puppy after a while, man. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what this whole what you just said, the Migos and the triplets. It's becoming like that badass little dog that ain't got no. You know what I'm saying? We need to reel him back in, give him some obedience training or something, man. But
right.
How are you able to manage? I think your love obviously is writing, man. But you're the director as well. I'm sure you love that position, also. So how do you balance it two? Are you getting a lot of work done as far as writing, or are you more so leaving that to Mr. Colin and Mr. Todd?
Well, Southern University have a high standard of excellence, man. And I would say excellence is the product of hard work that creates the difference between an acceptable job and an outstanding job. But it's the extra effort that separates Southern University from everybody else. It's almost like, I know this might sound messed up, but Root Chris versus Outback. You know the difference in the quality of the meat when you go to the two. And Southern University is definitely one of those high echelon programs. So as it relates to that, you got to think about it. Those guys are new. I can remember when we first came and started arranging for this band, we grew with the band. But now the band is already at a level now, so it's like nobody have time for you to grow. Or they're gonna be like, oh man, the band fell off, they're not the same. But it takes time to get used to arranging for a band of that magnitude. It's not as easy as people think it is. Most people think, oh man, I could do that, man. It's not for everybody. So my goal was to ease those guys in and let them get accustomed to the band. And I said, hey, I won't put all that pressure on them. I'll write in certain situations. But, I did most of my writing in the off season. I didn't get to do anything during the season, man, because paperwork for administrative position like head band director, that's not where you get to enjoy being in front of the band. But I made it my business to come in front of that band at least once a day because, man, that's your piece. And ain't nothing like being in front of that band in the band room. That's the best sound you will get out of any ensemble.
Sure enough. So what you had some, let's run through some of these games real quick. I want to get your recap on some of these right here, man. So we talked about the Troy game. What'd you think of Miles? They came to Mumford, man. What did you think of Miles this season?
Man, Miles Band is doing a great job. Those guys over there working with that program, they're doing a great job with that program. It's a little more challenging for them to be able to compete with the Southerns and the bigger programs with recruiting, and so for them to be able to do what they are doing, man, that speaks volume about them as directors. But man, they're doing a great job over there at that program.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was game 2 right there.
Yeah, definitely.
There was you played just most of your normal foes, man. But there was a band that everybody's kind of talking about for being most improved this season, and that's the Alabama State Mighty Marching Hornets. And word on the street, I want to say they pretty much undefeated this season.
Oh, okay.
They didn't see y'all this year though. What do you think? Yeah. Did you check out Alabama State this year?
I might have seen 1 or 2 videos, man. The ones I saw, they didn't sound bad at all. I think they're doing a great job. Over the years, I think they've been going unnoticed because they didn't have the numbers. And I think that's what people fail to realize. A good band don't have to be big and loud. A good band is a band that has balance, quality sound, and if you want to play with some power, play within the contents of what you have. And I feel like a lot of people think that you gotta have if you got 2 French horns, you need to sound like you got 20. No, man, you need to play like you have 2 French horns.
Yeah.
And I think they plan for what type of band they have, and I think I could respect that about them, not trying to go out the box of who they are.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, man. I think like a small ensemble, like you can say like a Mississippi Valley or something like that, man. The smaller you are, it's like you got to be tight. You got to be tighter than a bigger band because, like you said, you got 2 mellophones versus a whole section of 15 of them. You're going to hear those 2 mellophones, man. If one is off, one is on, you're going to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, most definitely. That's why I tell my students all the time, man, the ones that's getting ready to be, directors. I'm like, guys, Southern is a fantasy band. We can pass anything out to Southern, they play it. You can't do that when you go teaching. That's why I take them to the local high schools, let them pass out, arrangements, because I teach arranging and orchestration. So I take them, let them go to the high schools, and I say, all right, I teach them verbatim what they need to put on that arrange, and I was telling the guy, and I say, look, don't take them over these notes. This is the practical range for that instrument. Yeah. And they mess around, go to them high schools, and, they were like, man, Mr. Taylor. I said, I told you. Yeah. It's like, you can't expect a band to have 2, 3 French horns to play way up above the staff. That just don't make sense at all. The first thing a person hear or listen to when they hear a band, they want to hear good music. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing today. Man, play good music. You don't gotta. Who says the best band is the loudest band? Show me in any book where it say the best band is the loudest band. And a lot of people think that's what Southern patterned them behind being loud, but that's not what we do. We just have a brass band, so it gives us a very heavy sound, which makes us sound like, oh, they trying to be louder than everybody. We haven't been the loudest band in some few years. Yeah. We don't strive to say, hey, we got to be louder than them. No, man, that ain't something come out of our mouth. We're like, look, we got to execute the arrangement. Now, the word crank, what people think is a volume, is not. Mr. Jackson came up with that word many years ago. And it was a figure of speech. It's kind of like when the football team say, man, y'all better go out there and tear their head off. You don't literally mean go out there and tear their head off. They mean go out there and execute whatever it is that we have practiced. Yeah. That's all that means. So people think crank is a volume. It's not a volume. It means that we're going to go out here and do what it is that we do. Yeah. And that's be exceptional than the rest. Be better than our last performance. We're going to go out here and rip this show up. Yep. Yep. Now, that's just like even a performer. They were like, when Beyonce go out there, she going to tear that stage up. She don't literally mean tear the stage up. She means she going to go out there and perform where people can feel her. That's all it means. Figure or speech.
Hey man, people go and interpret stuff the way they want to interpret it, bro. But
Bingo.
I don't even look. I can't focus on what nobody else thinking, man. But I want to make sure that I touch on this though, bro. You faced Texas Southern, meaning Southern faced Texas Southern this year.
Yeah.
And y'all always do. But it was something a little more special about this meetup right here, man. You could just feel it. Everybody was looking forward to it. For obvious reasons. Brian Simmons, he went over and took over the band over at Texas Southern. Shout out to Mr. Simmons. He's doing a phenomenal job over there. But y'all were formerly, on staff, working together. Both dope arrangers on the team. Y'all were, what I'm saying, it was a team effort. But here we are now. You got Mr. Simmons, Mr. Taylor, both leading their bands. And a lot of people were saying, and I want to say a lot of people, I was one of them initially. I was going to say, dang, Mr. Simmons was really, he brought that fire and that energy to Southern, man. What's going to happen now? What did you think about that, man? Did that get to you? Did you see a lot of those comments of people saying, dag, Mr. Simmons gone, what's Southern going to do? Is that kind of was that your mentality going into that game? Like, what was your mentality facing Texas Southern this year? Was anything different going in your mind?
Well, I will say I told Mr. Simmons this all week and all throughout the year, and he was like, "Man, you don't have to prove nothing, man. You don't have nothing to prove." I said, "No, I don't." But I see what people are saying. Oh, Mr. Taylor can't do them but write ballads, man. I don't write all the other stuff because, like we just talked about, I don't like it because it don't show off your actual skill set. Writing a rap song, anybody can write a rap song, as you can see. Most bands play rap songs. Anybody can write that. But everybody can't write music.
Yeah.
I heard some people attempt to write Jamiroquai. I heard some people attempt to write Michael Jackson. I heard people attempt to write, these top echelon musicians that actually put some music in there. Man, the people can't write that stuff, man. That stuff, everybody like, oh, I don't know, man. They couldn't feel it. Everybody can't write music like that. But when you talk about, oh, Mr. Taylor can't write rap songs or he can't write this and that, man, go check my track record. I've been doing this since I was in high school. I started arranging like in 98, 99. I didn't just start doing this. So that don't make me feel good writing rap songs. I know we had enough of that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let other people write that. If they want to write it, they can write it.
Yeah.
So for me, that game, it was more like that was a time for us to start taking it up a notch because, a lot of people talking crazy about the current staff. Man, them guys are doing a phenomenal job. Like I said, Southern University has a high standard of excellence, and people don't compare apples to apples. They compare apples to oranges. So they don't never compare the quality of what that you do. They just say, oh, they got with them. What's got with them? They work better. So what is that?
Yeah.
So for me, that game, that was one of the ones that a lot of the naysayers were talking crazy.
Yeah.
They don't know me.
Well,
I'm sure they do now. They know me now.
They know you now. We're going to go ahead and link it. Here you go right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut. This is Power right here. Mr. Taylor right here, man. Check it out. So I mean, you brought up a good point just now, man. And ask you a simple question: what's the deciding factor? You got a fifth quarter, you got two bands. What is the deciding factor in your opinion on who wins a fifth quarter? What does it take to win?
Man, I'm glad you asked that question. I think it's a very, very slight to programs that really put a lot of time into what they do. You could tell by the attention to detail in the songs, the execution. Most people say, oh, song selection, no, they song selection was better. They was boring. I really feel like if you look at New England Patriots, how many Super Bowl rings Tom Brady received? It wasn't the most prettiest thing to look at. but they are Super Bowl champions,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that when you think about bands. It might not be the most appealing thing to everybody because they might not understand what's going on. But the object of every battle of bands or every fifth quarter is for you to show off your musicianship. So, yeah, we'll play a rap song just to show off the power that we have in our band. But the goal is to show you that you can't outplay us.
Mm-hmm.
And I say we ain't letting them out the hook. What you mean letting them out the hook? We not about to go in no rap battle with a rap band. We know they're gonna play rap songs.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna hit them where it hurt.
Yeah.
I know they ain't gonna be able to put these cards on the paper like we did. But people don't look at that. They don't look at the attention to detail in the arrangement. They look at, oh man, I know that song. Oh yeah, they pumped that. They blew the ball off of that. But they were playing in unison. 1, 3, 5 chords. And if you know about chord structure, that's a block chord. We are not playing block chords at Southern University. We playing 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths. That's what I'm putting that stuff. They can't conceive it though.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, we are killing y'all. And then you got these people that don't know nothing about music.
Wow.
Nah, man, they got with them, man. They got with them playing block chords.
Hey, man, you just made me think of something. So it's a very similar parallel here, you know, and look at the music industry of today. You know what I'm saying? Think of some of the dopest lyricists that used to be like the greats, man. Think of like the Nas's. Think of like, you know what I'm saying? That style of rap of what we considered real MCing, won't get no views, people don't want to hear that today, man. They want to hear the mumble rap. They want to hear the triplets. They want to hear the meat. They want to hear that because that's what's in demand right now. So when you talk about bands,
you made a great point.
Yeah.
You made a great point. Hold on, thought. Thinking about Tupac.
Yeah.
And Biggie.
Yeah.
They made you feel what they were going through.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like everybody's talking about putting that iron on each other, how much money they got.
Yeah.
You know, and so you make a great point.
But I'm just saying, so I mean, the effort that you sat and put that pen to paper and put these chords together and that's the same work that these artists or these MCs was to put on the paper when they wrote their words, man. So we in a whole different time in 2021 where it's about what is it that people want, man. You know what I'm saying? You said you got to educate first. So clearly, I guess if there was a consensus across all the bands and say, all right, look, we going to stop this BS. We going to stop, not to call stuff BS, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it
is.
Well,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's got its place, but I think in order to educate, it's got to be a consensus across the minds. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You the man in charge, so you would know better than me, man. But
it's gonna mess your head up.
What's that?
People only teach what they know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna teach something I can't do. You know, that's one of the things that I learned a long time ago. The reason why bands are failing today, and they are failing, a lot of the high school programs are failing because they're trying to do the things that they think you're doing at the college level.
Yeah.
And band directors just want to get on the internet and be seen and get credits for they band playing all nasty and they thinking, oh, that's what Southern do. Man, that's not what we do. People get a rude awakening when they come in and they can't survive our band camp because we putting 4 and 5 marches on you in the first weekend. You got to know them by Friday. You know, that is what real musicians do. Just like in any kind of sport. Man, you think you're just coming there shooting threes and stuff like, no, man, they work on basic fundamentals. And that's what we do. So it's like when you get to a football game, why you let all that go out the window? Why?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of the high schools are trying to emulate what they think go on because we are entertaining the people who watch us. So a lot of people want to see you come out the gate just going for broke. Think about this. It's like your food. Do you put hot sauce on everything on your plate?
Man, I used to, but not no more. I've gotten a little wiser in my days, but no. But no, I get your point. Yeah, and you don't put that on everything, man.
It's like a movie. You don't want to see somebody getting shot the whole movie. It's like, man, come on, man. You got to have your highs and lows in this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what people want in the songs. Now is like after like maybe 2 songs, it just start getting like,
yeah.
Like nobody want to listen to it. Like it just like you going in a rap battle where everybody just keep playing and everybody seeing who can play the highest note on tuba when it's a bass horn.
Yeah.
You got a tuba going woo 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 woo. And it's like, man, come on, man, what a musicality at. And that's that's my goal as a director. And I know what age we're in, so we got to get the students. The kids like playing that stuff. We know that.
Yeah.
So we do a little both. I like if I'm gonna make y'all play this, I'm gonna let you, hey guys, write that rap song. I'm not doing it, but they got it.
Well, I mean, you talked about high schools a little bit, and I guess I'm not giving them a pass, but I am kind of sort of because Southern is a brand. Southern ain't going nowhere. Y'all Human Jukebox is the brand. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all always gonna have y'all recruits and whatever. But the high schools, a lot of these areas, bro, they gotta do what they can just to keep the kids energized. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you throw musicality out the window. You never do that. But I think that you have to meet the kids where they are in a sense.
Definitely.
Educate like you said, but at the same time, man, we got to keep the kids coming. I'm in Maryland. I'm on the East Coast. Bands ain't nothing like the South, bro. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, like y'all have high school programs that's probably better than a lot of colleges out here. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, it's a little different as far as East versus South, and as far as how high schools approach it.
I would say that's not even the case, man. Our programs are struggling around here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, we got to go way out to Texas to recruit because the band programs here are small too. And we're trying to help get those guys back on their feet now, man. The pandemic really put everybody behind.
Yeah.
So a lot of programs are suffering. But, man, I had the same problem when I was in my school district. I used to have to start my students from scratch as freshmen. But I stuck to my guns. I didn't let my students run the program.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they just want the popularity. And I wasn't a popular director for that. Because, man, I'm like, look, I'm failing my students if I allow them to think that the goal is to play this rap song.
Yeah.
No, man, the goal is to create you to be able to play on any level you choose to play on. And I could definitely say my students that listen all were able to go to the next level and play.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they were sexually in the next level or not, they were able to play in the band. Because, everybody got different talent levels, but
right.
The ones that actually listen to what you're actually putting out there, man, they were able to articulate that on the next level. And so I'm only saying we did everything. I did more battle bands than anybody. I mean, so we did that, but I also told them, look, we're gonna have concert band. I don't care what we're not going to this parade if you are not coming to concert band practice. So you got to stick to your guns.
Yeah.
And I think students want structure.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to be a part of no crap that's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Students like organization and students like structure. So as I'm saying that, you got to think about it. Nobody want to be in an organization that don't have any discipline. Students want to be disciplined, but they want you to be consistent with it. Mm-hmm. Like don't one day it's acceptable, then the next day it's not.
But that goes back to who you see across the field, man. A lot of bands will change up their paradigm, and like you said, oh, now I got to crank, I got to blow, I got to, because that's what they doing. Versus another band.
University is everybody's Super Bowl, man.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Everybody see Southern, we gonna get their best punch. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I seen bands week before. I'm like, man, what's going on with them? But then when they see us, I'm like, man, they sure was practicing. You can tell the difference. I promise you. And that's why everybody that automatically say, oh man, they got with them. They got with them. Okay, they were better than they were last week. I do give them that. But come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I promise you, I want to work with these directors, man, because I've been there. But I know everybody not the same. So, even in our district, I've been collaborating with the superintendent, man. I'm telling them, like, man, these guys are not going to survive if they don't have the proper resources.
Yeah.
They need a feeder program, somebody that's going to sit there and teach those students in a middle school setting. So when they do come to the high school, the students have some knowledge of the instrument. Because these principals are asking guys to bring bands to the game and do field shows when they just starting the program up. It's like, that's impossible.
It is impossible because that's when you have a lot of folks that's leading these, leading these schools that don't understand band. That's a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different thing, man. So, switching gears a little bit. So, I ain't gonna throw anybody's name out there because I try to keep a clean platform. But there's been a name that's been kind of synonymous with the Human Jukebox. I want to say more so like an arch nemesis kind of thing, man. You probably know who I'm talking about, but he's been removed several times and. What does it take to get removed and banned from Mumford Stadium, man? Like for a media guy, it's a media guy, obviously I'm talking about here.
Okay.
If y'all know who it is, y'all know who it is. You know, I'm not throwing names out there, but what?
I got it now.
Yeah, you know, people come out. You know, media teams come out to film the bands, and we talked about this before, Mr. Taylor, about just the responsibility that comes with that position of being a media independent or in-house, whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
what are the do's and don'ts? Let's keep it simple like that. What are some of the things you expect out of an independent media team, and things that you do not expect, things you will not tolerate from an independent media team?
That's a great question, man. Times have changed. You know, it used to be a time where you can go to the game and you know, guys would film from the middle of the field, and they never got in the way of any band, any director, any dancer. They stayed their distance. Nobody ever came in your space, right? Nowadays, everybody trying to get closer and closer to the students.
Mm.
And it's so bad for me and Dr. Oliver. Like, for the dancing laws, they're very popular. Everybody know that. And the Stingettes, they popular. Me and Dr. Oliver, we probably get it the worst when it comes to those media guys, because they trying to get, like, you see how close we are to the screen? That's how close they are to the dancing. You know, about it has a problem. We tell them, hey, man, move back, just move back. But they getting so in the way, it's like you could barely move. And then the fans see them there, and they automatically start getting close. So it's like we had a situation where one of the fans grabbed one of our dancers, man, all in the chest. And yeah, he got arrested.
Is that the media guy?
No, the media guy didn't do it.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, okay.
But I'm saying, like, when the media people, they're not dressed up in no media clothes. They just got a phone on a stick, or they might have a little small camera where they moving.
Okay.
So people thinking that they regular fans as well. Mm-hmm. They don't have on a vest or nothing that's identifying them as a media person. So fans start to come up. So if they see them there, they think, oh, I could come up too.
Yeah.
Now you got all these people, you're trying to move and maneuver around, and you can't even move because they bargained the dancers, and now I got to be a security guard.
Yeah. You
trying to push people back and say, hey, man, now you the bad guy, because now they got you on camera saying, hey, move back. But in order for the students to actually perform what they practice, they need the space. Mm-hmm. They don't know what's the routine that the girl's about to do. Mm-hmm. And they right in their face. So it's like you tell them to move back. They can't even, march out properly for that reason. And also another thing, they don't edit the videos. Raw and uncut, you get what you see. I can remember I saw a video where one of the J-sets was dancing and she fell. Why not edit that out? Man, that humiliates those students. So we had another incident happen where somebody took all our videos and they put them on different platforms, which is fine. But somebody was filming as a media guy, took his videos, slowed them down so much, it showed the young lady's chest coming up and down.
Oh, no.
Went to her crouch area, showing her body moving. So we had to get the chief of police involved and find out who it was to get it taken out. The young lady was so embarrassed and hurt.
Hold on. It's somebody well-known, like a well-known media team?
Nah, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Oh, no, okay. But still, it's still wrong.
But it was somebody that got a media pass.
I got you.
So it started getting really, really bad for us. So all we asked the media guys were, hey, guys, don't come close to the band. Like, just stay back. Nobody have a problem with nobody filming, right? It's free game at a game. Like, film if you want. We want you to film. I don't care about you filming. My issue as the band director is, man, just give my students the proper space they need at the performances. So it got to a point where they were like, we got our own media team, right? Mm-hmm. So they think that Garrett is the reason why they can't film, but Garrett don't have nothing to do with that. So our AD got upset because they started getting too much in the way. And they was like, look, these guys are going to get banned if they don't follow the rules. And the rules are, don't come up close on the bands. Some people just don't understand that or feel like they are prima donna. They like, oh, I'm going to do what I want. Mm-hmm. And they stream it and they go live. And our games are starting to be on ESPN. So how people are going to pay for ESPN and watch it on ESPN, and ESPN seeing somebody streaming it on YouTube or something like that? So that's why they got banned, because they told them to stop. Yeah. They refused to stop, and then they go hide and go places and do it again. So that's where the problem come in. So the people that had a problem as media guys are people that don't want to follow the rules. When you say, look, man, just move to the side. Don't single out a dancer, because we have to be the ones to take care of those issues when there are issues in the band hall. Those young ladies, man, you put one young lady on the camera and say, oh, she made that catch on. Those young ladies work together to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the media guys go and single out one person, and they make people say, oh, that's my favorite. So now you got everybody want to be the captain now because they think the captain make up all the routines when that's not true.
Well, that's a lot to digest right there. I just want to make sure I ask that question. I'm gonna keep asking that question too, because I am curious to hear what other directors think the roles and responsibilities should be for media teams, man. Because I think that there's some opportunity for all of us to work together. I mean, even with what I'm trying to do with my platform of just bridging the gap and spreading the gospel this way versus I just think there's opportunity to work together, man. And
they just got to stop making a platform the dogs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like they don't film the band; they just come film the dogs.
I talked about this with one of my boys, man. He's a media. I'm not gonna throw names out there. That's not what this is about. But when it comes to views, man, he was saying people wasn't just they weren't watching the band. They was watching all the dances, and that kind of weird to me. I'm not going front. It's kind of it's kind of weird.
I mean, think about that, man. You got a grown man just sitting there with his camera in front of.
Well, no, lady. Not the camera. Well, hold on one second. Hold that thought, Mr. But it's definitely an interesting phenomenon, which where we are as far as dances are getting the views nowadays, and I'm not sure when that began. I think I do. I think that's when Marv Price he was very Dr. Price. He was really involved with the dolls, man. Early on,
I think all that started we started that.
Y'all did.
Yeah, man. In 2014, we started highlighting, different portions of the band. Because before that, man, nobody went on close on those girls like that. Really? Think about it when you was marching the band. How many videos? You could barely see people. Right. You just saw the band. You ain't know what they were doing. Yeah. So 2014, I think Can You Stand the Rain video went viral because somebody put the camera on one of the dancers that was in the front, and everybody started looking at it, and it's still getting views to this day.
Yeah.
And, that video alone started that wave of, oh, man, let's get some close-ups of the dancers. Let's see more of the dancers. Because you got a lot of young ladies that aspire to be dancers, and you got a lot of people that just like, the art of dance, which is nothing wrong with it. But there are no dancers without the band.
Yeah. Are dancers part of the band?
Yeah, dancers are our band, man. For us, the dancers don't perform nowhere without Southern University Band, because we all one. Some people like to try to separate like the Southern University Human Jukebox and the Fabulous Dancer Dogs. No, it's the Southern University Human Jukebox.
Okay.
It was created, it's just like different sections in the band. Mm-hmm. You got the drum majors, you got the trumpets, where they name these sections. You got the Phone Factory for the drum section, tuba section got his name. That's different entities in the band, just like the dogs.
Yeah.
The dance dog just another portion of the band.
Yeah, I know. Like some bands have their dancers are troops where they actually have their own. They part of the band, but they do their own thing. I think Gremlin's one of them. Gremlin's dancers, they do their own thing too. So, but that's dope. So, what do you think about the platforms? It's a lot of platforms being stood up today. Podcasts, this and this and that. So, what do you think about a lot of the opinions being stated? Some from band directors, some from band fans, some from just you got all kind of opinions coming out. What is your take on that?
Man, everybody have an opinion, man. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. But it's like when people start to try to make their opinion sound factual, that's where, I have a problem with it. Like, I might like Beyonce, or I might like Whitney Houston, or everybody got their person who they like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing wrong with liking what you like, but it's to say that it's not musical when somebody highlight a section. That to me, now you're going too far on somebody's creativity, because nobody tried to they tried to put Mozart and Beethoven in a box, but it didn't happen, and he evolved. And now you got all kind of crazy stuff going on in 20th century music. So to me, I think that in order for us to express ourselves, because music is the art of feeling, is what you feel as an arranger, is what you feel as a musician. You can't tell me what I should feel. It's my feelings. Mm-hmm. So when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't did that in that arrangement," no, that's what they felt. You know, now whether you liked it or not, that's up to be seen or talked about. You know, because there's some classical pieces that I don't like for the fact that I just don't like it because it don't move me. So maybe the arrangement don't move you, but don't say it's wrong or it's not ethical. Anything you put on the paper is ethical if you do it. Who told Gizzard Gillespie that, oh, you can't puff your cheeks out and play way up there? Mm-hmm. He did it and made it famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like people do things to create a new wave. Like we talk about even new music today. Nobody's still doing the same stuff they did when we were in school and the rappers were doing that. They doing their own thing now. So I don't like it personally, but I'm not going to go say, man, that ain't rap. It is rap. It's just not my preference. So I'm not going to make it like it's wrong. It's just not my preference of what I like. Mm-hmm. I like music. So I like all genres of music. I don't like heavy rock and metal, but is that not musical?
It's music. It's not my cup of tea. It's music though. Right.
But it's not our preference, right?
Right.
So as it relates to Southern University Band, if we like to highlight our baritones, that's what we like.
Yeah.
It's not that's wrong. No, it's not wrong. It's a highlight. It's a counter melody. Mm-hmm. If we like to highlight the French horns, that's what we are doing. Long as you can still hear the solo line throughout the song, there's no right or wrong way to do anything. In my opinion, of arranging. Now, it might not be the best sound, but it's not wrong.
Say a suit. That's a good point you made right there, man. We got to stop holding our standards to what other coaches outside of HBCUs or just outside of what we do say about us, man. The guy said that I had to defend our culture. I was at a conference. I mean, this is what the guy was telling me. I had to defend HBCUs because the PWI directors there were saying how, we play out of the character of the horn and, we just don't obey, the rules and standards of how you should play an instrument. And I'm like, as black folk, when have we just stuck to the script and you talked about hot sauce earlier, man, we jazz everything up. We do things a certain way where it's going to make it taste a little better, look a little fresher. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And that was the point that I was making to that brother when he said that. It's like, they don't get to tell another culture what's right and what's wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? It's we going to put the funk on the arrangement or on the horn, whatever it is, man. And you got to be all right with that. I think in the spring when it's time for concert season, yes, you have, it's a different type of playing, a different type of approach to music, in my opinion. Maybe you disagree or agree with that, but
so I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think it's the same approach. It's just at a different level. Mm-hmm. Even the PWIs, they're not playing the same volume they play in concert band. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the volume level is going to change. We right across the road from LSU. LSU play with power because they filling up Tiger Stadium. If they wasn't playing with power, nobody wouldn't hear them.
Yeah.
So when you're saying that, they're talking about probably like French horns playing E flats above the staff and stuff like that, where it start getting real thin. So as an arranger, I don't write E flats and stuff above the staff because it's not going. They're not going to be able to control it. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why I don't. But if you do it, that's on you. That's what you like. I don't do it personally because it's going to make them sound really thin. I might as well just give it to the trumpets.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I feel like that's what they're probably trying to say, but they're not saying it in that way. I think they're talking about range-wise when the band starts sounding thin and you can't hear the melodic line, which is the most important part in any composition. You got to hear that melody. And I think they saying the bands are not balanced. When you hear Southern University Band, you're going to hear every part. So they can't say that, the Southern Band is not balanced or they don't play with dynamics. We do all of that. So don't say all bands, because I've heard a lot of HBCU bands that play with dynamics. I've heard a lot of balanced HBCU bands. If you say, that band didn't sound that great, yeah, that might not didn't. They probably didn't. Did you check the temperature outside? It might have been a little chilly.
Might have been, yeah.
You know, so you know that mouthpiece ain't gonna warm itself up. So, you
Yeah.
know, that's a lot of the climates that we play in is man, it's cold. Like that Jackson State game, it was freezing.
Mm-hmm.
The most inconsistent our baritone section been all year because it was cold as I don't know what out there.
Yeah.
And people don't look at that. They just look at it on the YouTube and like, oh, they missed that note. They missed that note. They just start critiquing, you know, which is fine. You're supposed to. That's what it's on there for. I tell the students all the time, once you put it out there, you can't take it back. So if you make a mistake, just know they're gonna say something about it. But as it relates to, you know, PWI versus HBCU band, why is it that they always call us to do halftime shows at these football games if our bands weren't that great?
I mean, man. Okay, and that's kind of the way I took it. I ain't gonna lie. When he told me that story of him defending us, I'm like, man, do you think? Well, not that I care either way, but a lot of times I think that comes from them thinking that what we do is not real music. Sometimes we're entertainment. We're dancing bands. We're bands that's there to shuck and. I hate to say shuck and jive. You know what I'm saying? That's that old. But
yeah. So let's hit on that. Let's hit on that. So I will go back and say, our people like that. Our culture, they like, you know, to do dance routines. I don't really like dance routines because man, they so hard now. Nobody ain't doing dances on. If you notice, that stuff they doing on TV ain't dances no more, man. That's choreography.
Yeah,
that's something they rehearsed.
And it's wild because back in our era, man, we wasn't dancing like that. We might hit a little 2-step, but these kids dancing nowadays. They doing whole TikTok videos. Yeah.
The Tootsie Roll, the bus stop, all the type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everybody would learn.
Yeah.
So not today time, it's hard to put dance routines together. But if you don't do a dance routine, they're like, oh, that band wasn't good because they ain't do a dance routine. But all people.
You think so, bro? I don't know, man. I think that we've evolved to a point. I mean, I go back to that Miles thing when they did Queen City and they had everybody tearing up and they did that gospel tune coming off the field. I don't think we have to, bro. I think that if creativity is put into it, we can end the show strong, man, without a dance routine. I don't know. I personally think we could, but
man, you'll be surprised at how many people want to see you dance.
Man, okay.
But even with that. Going back, let's hit on the part about the music part.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about HBCU bands, man, go way back when jazz started. Jazz wasn't classical. Gospel. A lot of your jazz came from gospel. Think about it. That's who we are as people. So, do you think back then that those people liked jazz and gospel and all that? Even today, you put them in a Baptist church, a good old Baptist church. You think they like it? But we love it because we can feel it. We are a generation of people that like to feel. Mm-hmm. Hey, I heard a gospel person said, I wouldn't serve a God that I can't feel. Yeah. I wouldn't serve a religion. I wouldn't, be in a religion that I can't feel it. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with music. I don't want to play no music that I can't feel. So
I got you.
As it relates to how our bands play, our bands are built on our culture. Mm-hmm. Like our culture of people want to feel the music. Yeah. And that's why we play the stuff that we listen to.
I mean, you get in your car. What you do when you hear a song you like? What you gonna do?
You start singing along with it and you feel it.
You gonna turn that thing up. You gonna turn that thing up, man. You're not gonna have it on low volume and you're going to jam out, and not to say volume is where it's at, because that's going to get back to that whole debate on, the volume wars. Whoever's loudest is who won the battle. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it gets to your point. You want to feel the music, and part of that is feeling the music.
Hey, in my house right now, I got woofers. Yeah. I got subs. I turn it up. I want to hit when the football playing. I want to hear that hit.
Exactly.
I just like it. I like to feel it. Yeah. That's my preference though. You know.
That's your preference.
A lot of people come in here and say, "Man, you got that thing loud." Like, yeah, I do. Yeah. I like it like that.
Well, shoot. Let's switch gears real quick, man. The word preference. We talked about this leading up to this interview a little bit, man. But a lot of people prefer different things, different bands. Who won this? Who won that? There was a point that you made, and I thought it was important that we bring it up. A lot of the polls that are released, and they talk about who won this week, who's top band this week, that week. You said something important, and I never looked at it this way until you said it, but this is real time affecting recruitment, is what you're saying. You said that kids will see a poll, and I'm not going to shout out any of these companies because I'm not getting paid by them, but you can go type in HBCU poll, whatever. But the poll said that X band won. X band got second place, third place, fourth place. So here come a high school student ready to choose a band, choose a school. They say they first place. That's the best band. So now you got kids going to that school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These polls have their own way of coming up with these winners, man. How you feel about it? First of all, we can get more into the details. How do you feel about the polling system this year, this season in particular, man? They were pretty consistent with these polls. How did you think about the outcome? How you think about how it's going to affect your recruitment and other bands' recruitment?
I think Southern University band, as it relates to a poll, we the most talked about band, whether people like us or they don't like us. We are the most talked about. We are pretty much, I guess, the focal point of the word crank. That's what everybody like to make it be, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of like I've been a judge at a ballot band, and the judges talk, right? So before a band even hit the field, if somebody's familiar with a band, they already given a preconceived notion of that band. They're like, oh man, hey, I'm telling you, this band, they gonna do this. They gonna do good. That's even at concert festival. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a preconceived. Oh man, if you're not well dressed or you don't look like what they think you should look like, you get points taken off just for that, your appearance. So I think as it relates to the polls, I don't think it's a fair assessment because a band like Southern University, we don't feature our percussion section in our shows, or we don't have but 9 dancing dolls. So therefore, to make a part of your band rating is percussion, drum major, directing the band. Our drum major don't direct the band because it's on autopilot when he start the whistle. So when you say the drum major is a part of it, directing the band, and then when you say the auxiliary, we don't have flags and twirlers. So we're not going to get those points because we don't have nothing but dolls. And if you don't understand the art of what the dolls do, to you, it's not going to be good. So we get, and even for sound, man, I've seen where the first place person sound was 14 and 15 points better than Southern University band. Now I'm like, I know I can hear a rat piss on cotton if he pissing. To say our sound is 14, 15 points behind the band, like that's bizarre.
Do you I hate to use the word bias.
Oh, definitely. It definitely is bias.
But
because it's a separation between SWAC and BAC.
Okay, and that's what I'm
Everybody
trying to say.
automatically got their preference, like, oh, the SWAC play aggressive and they play out of the range and all of that. Everybody got their interpretation.
But I'm thinking, man, okay, so do you think this is a way to steer or to control the narrative of what a good band is supposed to be? I mean, if this band has they're meeting all these characteristics, you said auxiliary, you said drum, all the different categories, they hitting high numbers, and this is what's winning. And you talk about recruitment now, so now you're thinking, damn, this is where all the kids going. They going to this school that meets all these parameters. You said y'all don't have FAMU doesn't have dances. Y'all don't have flags. Okay, so now you're thinking, y'all going to change tradition now so we can meet these parameters? Of course not, obviously, but I don't know. That's the way you said that. Exactly how I took it, man. It's like you can't judge all these bands on this broad, system when they don't meet these parameters, man. Because now it's not even fair. It's not fair at all. So
you also got to think about the people that you have judging. They're gonna judge you based on what they like or how they think it should go. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna judge you based on you doing what you did and judging it on that. Like I say all the time, we do line drills. We don't do pageantry and motion. Mm-hmm. So Ohio State, they do pageantry and motion, like FAMU and Bethune. So it's a difference. But neither one is wrong. Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna judge a poll like that, judge a band on what they do in that category, not on what you think should be done.
And not only that, I believe that poll only judges on field show.
It's just judged on field shows.
So I mean, all the musicality, everything you put to these arrangements in the stands, none of that matters.
It don't even matter. It don't matter.
And that's crazy
So
to me.
I think they're trying to make it, and I'm with it. They're trying to put a focus back on halftime shows because a lot of bands don't do great job on the field. They don't. They just do enough to go in. They try to get some house, and they don't care how the band look during the show. They're not uniform. They look tacky. Students look in all kind of ways, so attention to detail is very, very missed in some programs.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand them trying to say this band did this on the field because a lot of the bands that they picking to win are not, I guess, stand bands as they try to make it. They don't do good in the stands because they don't play a lot of music. They don't learn all those songs like everybody else. Like Southern University this year, we had 110 songs, 110 plus. When we ended the school since the season.
Mm-hmm.
Most people ain't come close to 50.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the quality in all of that we did, was all of it really, really, really good? Probably not. You're going to have hits and misses. Everything ain't going to be top notch. But the fact that we played that many songs and executed them and learned them says a lot.
Yeah, hey, you brought up a good point when you said that the halftime shows just don't have the same attention that it used to have. A lot of people do watch the stand videos, man. But I think that it does get back to the point of just redundancy, man. How many times can you skin the cat the same way? If your wife come home and cook you fried chicken, you love fried chicken. Everybody loves some chicken or some whatever, chicken tenders, but she battered up that same chicken. She get the wings, she battered up, the seasoned bomb, but it's the same meal every day. At some point, you're like, dang, I want something different, man. Yeah. And it's like, I think that the cookie cutter field show format has become so, like you got the drum major intro, and it's not just y'all. People follow the same format, but you got that, you got your first drill, you got your dance feature, you got your second drill, you got your dance routine. Sometimes you throw a ballad or a gospel tune in there. It's like, we know, when you start to know what to expect in the field show, it's no longer entertainment, it's more, the element of surprise is not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's not about pushing or forcing a pole down these folks' throats saying, hey, we going to bring some attention to the field show. Nah, man, we got to bring some attention to it by way of recreating the entertainment value that the field show should present, man. That's just the way I see it. I personally love stands because I know I've seen the field show, so I've been watching bands since I was like 16, bro. I'm an old man now, so I done seen it, man. So I just love hearing music now. I can sit back and watch a stand battle for hours, bro, because I just love that, man. But I think that's where we are right now. Like, we got to bring something new and shake it up a little bit on the field, bro. And that's just my take on it.
Man, if you go back and look at us this year, man, we did a lot of new things. But we try to keep that tradition because you got those people that – I'm going to tell you why people do those formats and they don't do something just out the box. Man, the alums will go crazy. If Jackson State don't do that Tiger Run on, and they don't play, their fanfare blowing, their alums going to be pissed. If Southern University don't come out the end zone at some point, the alums going to be like, man, why, if we don't make the scores, people are like, why y'all ain't making the scores no more? People actually email us and ask questions on that and don't even want to help contribute to the band because you're not doing what they think you should be doing. And I know it sounds crazy. You don't let somebody dictate what you do. But it's just like a football coach. If they ain't winning, what you think the people going to do? They ship them out of there quick.
They're going to find somebody in there that can do. Yeah.
We try to keep the fans happy. And everybody's not going to like what you're doing. But the people that's at the games, man, they really enjoy those bands. Halftime. They look forward to it. Like, most people come to Southern games. And if the band not there, they not coming.
Yeah, I believe it.
So they want to be entertained by the band, and then if your halftime show is good. This year we had 6 home games. We had to be very, very creative, and I think we did a great job at that, man. We got house at every game, and if you get house at Mumford Stadium, you really doing something. They don't scream for nothing and nobody. If it's not good, you gonna know it ain't good because you're gonna get crickets. It's almost like they ready to call Sandman on you, get you off the field. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of house this year, man, from our crowd, man. They enjoyed the shows. I do think that emphasis should be put on the shows and not just throwing something together. I think that people should put more thought into it and not just do anything. Like,
But you're right though. I mean, from that viewpoint of what the fans expect, it kind of get back to the movie Drumline. You remember how the fans was getting on Dr. Lee saying, "Hey man, we want to hear whatever it was, a Flight of the Bumblebee, whatever it was that and they had to meet the requirements of what these paying alumni wanted to hear, man. So I get it. In that sense, I'm just saying I guess you mentioned about educating and what we can do on our side, man. It's not about forcing polls. That's the problem that I had with the poll, man. It's like I knew that's what they were trying to do. It's trying to bring more relevance to the field shows, and that's cool. But let's do it a way where with some integrity, man. Like do it in a way where we are reinventing the field show and bringing more excitement to the field show element, not because it's just something that not a formality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a formality. It should be something that you are entertaining the crowd, man. So, and I think y'all did bring some new elements this year, like
man,
you
we
mentioned.
did. Oh man, I had fun this year, man. We had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun too. People watching the games, they watching the field quarter, seeing me get excited with the students, but I don't feel like as an educator we should be too proud to do certain things, and we shouldn't be on a high horse where it's like we're here and the students here. No, man, we need to meet them where they are, man. When they see you open up with them and have fun with them, man, those students open up more with you. They're more open with you and talk to you about things that they might be dealing with and all of that because they see that you are a human, that that you ain't way up here and they way down here. Oh man, that's not the kind of operation you want to run. Our goal is to teach them and train them up. Yeah, we're gonna always be professional, but we also gonna have fun because we go through too much. We work too hard.
Hell yeah, work hard, play hard. Absolutely,
right,
bro. Yeah. I appreciate your time, Mr. Taylor, man. I think we got into all the who is Mr. Taylor, all those questions. We got into that the first interview. I'm gonna go ahead and link that in it, so in case y'all want to go back and learn more about the background of Mr. Taylor and how he came up and his story, man, go ahead and watch that also. But I thought it was important that we touched on these topics, man, and I look forward to having you back on again, bro. I know you got some big things coming for the spring. Concert season is here, and we back at it for 2022, bro. I can't wait for the fall, man. So
man, it's crazy though, man. We got a full plate, man. We got ballot bands set up, and people want to pay big money to get us out there, man. And we really don't like doing the ballot bands, but if they're gonna pay that kind of money, we coming.
Which one you talking about?
This is different. The SWAC talking about doing one in February. And
yeah.
There's also one they talking about doing in March. So
okay,
but these are big platforms, in big cities. So man, we doing those, but of course we got Mardi Gras in February as well.
Okay. I gotta make it down to Mardi Gras, bro. Yeah, I can't miss another year, bro. COVID definitely kept me away this time. Last year. But,
man. But that's important though, man. A lot of people stayed away from it, and it's spiking back up now. So, man, I definitely encourage people to start putting their masks back on.
The kids out here, man, they put them back on full virtual, man. So they're not even in the classrooms no more, bro.
Really?
They sent them back on. Yeah. So it's happening all over again.
Man,
all over again, tough, bro.
Man, that's tough. Yeah. But I appreciate you, man, even having me on, man, kind of enlighten people. Like I say, a lot of times people make comments, but they ignorant to the fact of how things go. It's kind of like even with sin, we like to point fingers at something that we don't do, but then what we do, we like, well, it ain't that bad. Sin is sin, no matter how you look at it, So I think it's the same way with music. Just because you don't like the way the HBCU bands play, don't mean that the way you play make it right. I've heard some bands that play real soft and they still don't sound good.
It ain't even just the people outside the culture; it's our own, bro. It's like, and the thing I'm noticing more and more, bro, it's a lot of gatekeeping going on. This is how no, you have to do it this way because this is the pedagogy of how this is. No, bro, it's like I think that waters down the culture, bro. You always gonna have different ways to spin this, man. And Southern's gonna do it their way. FAMU's gonna do it their way. A&T, everybody's gonna do it their own way. And it's no right or wrong.
You can't judge those bands on the same criteria. Music is gonna be always music at the end of the day, like you just said. But you can't judge a band based on how they do music. Like that's like saying, all right, we're gonna have a singing contest and ballad of and you say you got Fantasia, you got Alicia Keys, you got Beyonce, you got How you gonna judge who won that?
Fantasia versus Adele or something like that.
Right.
Beyond,
How do you
can't
judge
do
that?
it.
How you judge
Can't
that?
do it.
They both singers though. How you judge it though? Oh well, Adele, she was very articulate and she hit every pitch. How you know what pitch she was supposed to hit?
Because of that school of thought, the one saying that she is a real singer and Fantasia is not a real singer. That's what I'm saying. You can't call one real and one not real, bro. It's just different flavors
Man,
of the same.
Come on.
You can't
Gospel church,
can't do it.
Fantasia will take you to church. Like,
Yeah.
and like I said, she might not sing like a classical trained singer, but that's a different style of music. Think about the big band. Oh man, everybody always want a second line band to come play at the weddings and little functions like that, and that's big out here in Louisiana. Man, they bring a second line band and they come out there playing. They play real different from organized band. You got guys improvising. They call it scat.
Yep.
Oh, so that ain't music though.
To some people, it's not, and that's the thing.
And that's why I say it's a matter of your preference of what you like. Now, don't make these. Man, we lose out on a lot of recruits, bro, because they're like, oh man, Southern don't play. Man, go listen to our wind ensemble. If you say Southern don't know how to play music, listen to the wind ensemble. We played. Oh man, we went to Atlanta, man, one year and brought the wind ensemble. All those guys who talked all that crap were so blown away because, man, I'm gonna say this, and I know it might sound arrogant, but I don't care. You can't come do what we do, but I damn sure can come do what you do. Like, ain't no question about it. Like, they always think, oh, it's easy to do that. Okay, come and try to do it. Like, they don't want to send great musicians. Like, I saw somebody talking about why is it that we're not getting these 5-star players like the other schools. Man, because these band directors are telling them not to come. That's why they don't come. They talk so bad about it. It's like, when you was a child and your parents say, you better not smoke and drink. That's horrible. That's bad. People that smoke and drink, you're going to kill yourself. And if they tell you that enough, you're going to believe it. And that's what happens with these students. And you'll have a one out the group that's like, man, I'm going to try it anyway, though. They're going to go against the grain. I'm going to do it anyway. And they come find out like, man, it ain't nothing like what you just told me. Because I had somebody tell me, oh, you don't go to Southern because this and that. Like, nah, I'm going to Southern.
Well, that's why it's important for these discussions to happen, man, because, a lie left unchallenged, man, ends up becoming the truth. I think that's how the quote is.
Bingo. And
somebody can lie.
Man, social media is the place. That's why it make me so mad as a person because, man, you can target a person and we can't say nothing. Like, everybody was saying all the little stuff about me and they don't even know me. Oh, Mr. Taylor trying to be like this person, do this. Man, you don't even know me. Go check my track record. I've been cutting up. Yep. Because I like to have fun. That's my personality. If you see me in the band room, I'm jumping on chairs, teaching. That's my personality. And I don't change that for nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like you just said, man, somebody always can type something and it becomes the truth because it's on the internet. Now people believe it. Half of the things people put on the internet be fake. Bingo. Even on Christmas. Even on Christmas, you're going to see everybody in their onesies.
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot of people running their mouth, talking, and I'm like you. I'm at a point in my life, where it's like let people talk, but at the same time, at a certain point, you get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
I'm gonna put it another way. They always say, "Hey, turn the other cheek." Well, I ain't got no more cheeks.
I don't have no more cheeks to turn, bro.
I ain't got no more cheeks. Hey, you come tell me something, you might get what you're asking for, because I'm telling you. And that's why I've been out the box like I've been, because like, man, people been typing so much and I don't even go on social media. I got out of all the groups. I can't look at that because I ain't there yet. I love the Lord and he heard my cry, but like Steve Harvey always say, he ain't finished with me yet. He ain't done with me yet. Hey, just because I pray and I love God don't mean I won't let you have it. Like that stuff, they be going too far. It get too personal. I don't see how LeBron them do it, man. Like for to have all those commentators keep comparing him to Jordan and all that. Like let that man be. Let him be LeBron. Like, let Southern Band.
LeBron, definitely, he's king of turn that other cheek, man. And I'm with you, man. I think I for a few years, I've let a lot of just people say what they want to say, whatever, man. But
yeah,
it's over for that. It's over for that, bro.
But dude, like I'm not the only one, man. Even my assistants, man, they that stuff affect them. The things people say, man, that stuff hurtful. Because, like, you know, regardless of how you look at it, our students read the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you go on a video like, oh, this is trash. Come on now. Nothing we played this year was trash.
Yeah.
You might didn't like it, or it might not have been the best song we played, but it ain't trash.
Mm-hmm.
And those students read it, and they start getting it in their mind because they start believing the stuff people put out on the internet as if they are credible. And I have to tell them, look, if I tell you it was good, it was good. I'm gonna be your worst critic. Like, you know, so that's what I'm saying, man. Social media and the comments and these platforms where people giving their opinion, it's okay to give your opinion, but don't make your opinion sound.
Yeah, and it gets back to the polls and everything else, man. It's just we have to have a little more. I don't know. It's got to be a little more organized, man. You know, and I'm working with a few of the other platforms to. We gonna do this poll thing the right way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you something to go home and think about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that our people are the only ones that get on these polls and dog out the next program? Just because they think that program is successful, and they try to punt flaws out because other people like it, instead of everybody coming together and uplifting one another and uplifting what we do as a culture to make other kids want to come down, because we losing a lot of our students to PWIs too.
Band students,
because they think the way they do it is right because we downplay our stuff so much. I love my university to pieces. I don't care how bad it might get. They gave me a chance. They gave me an opportunity. When nobody else wanted to give our people opportunity, my university was built for us.
Yeah.
So if you're not having a problem you're not a solution to whatever the problems may be, you know, maybe you need to start trying to find some way to help change whatever it is that you might think is messed up. Maybe you need to try to get a job and help change the culture instead of saying, "Oh, it's not good," and then like making whatever everybody else do is right. Instead of saying, "Man, look, I want my people to be successful because they gave me a chance," you know. And that's my philosophy. Like, man, I don't like everything that we do, but if I'm gonna make a change or I'm gonna make I'm gonna fix the problem, I gotta start to say what's the problem, identifying the problem, and say let's. Like you said, meet the students where they are. Or are we gonna turn our back on? We worry about how much crime out there. You know why it's more and more crime? Because we dog the people who doing the crime out. We turn our backs on them and turn them and look at them like they the scum on the earth because of where they come from. But if you embrace them and talk to them and say, "Hey, man, you know what? You can be successful, bro. Like if you do this, man, what is it that you see yourself doing in life? I know this can't be it." If somebody go out and reach out to them and talk to them instead of slamming your door on them and rolling window up on them and all that. Like, you know, sometimes, man, they be good people. You know what I'm saying? I got students like that people think that they just the worst. But, man, I open up to them and they embrace me back because I show them love. And that's what we supposed to do through music. Show these students love. It ain't just about even teaching music. Man, it's about giving them the tools they need to be successful in life. Because life ain't easy. And if you can make it through a band program, that's not the easiest thing to do. So if they could do that, that give them when problems come in life, instead of thinking stealing or killing is the solution, that you giving them a better way to handle it. I've met so many kids that say, man, this program saved my life. So why are we not promoting the same programs that save our lives to save more student lives instead of turning our backs on them and dogging out, oh, Southern band this or this band this or that band this. Like, why don't we uplift it to more and more students to make them want to be a part of it?
Crabs in the barrel, bro. Crabs in
the barrel.
Bingo. Yeah, that's the bottom line, bro. It's like we and I made a post the other day. People want to see you do good. They just don't want to see you do better than them. You know, I want you to do good, brother. You know, go out and do great things. But as soon as you start to excel past me, that's when that H word. That's when that H word. Like, damn.
Hey, and it's room for everybody at the top.
Like, damn, he don't deserve. What make him think he deserved that, man? You know,
bingo, man. Yeah, right. You know? And they don't know what you went through to get.
Man, look, I can get into that. Man, that's a whole thing. It's if y'all see the surface, y'all see what Mr. Taylor do. You know, he's on this platform right now. You might see him on Saturdays. You might see him at a. I'm sure you do the homework. I'm sure you do the leg work that it requires to get you. That got you to this point, bro. They got the band to where it is, man. It's like they don't see that.
Hey, man, I tell my testimony and my story to everybody. I went the long way, man. Like, I have it easy like that, man. I failed the practice like 9 times before I passed it. Like, it wasn't easy. I was a freaking long-term sub while other teachers were signing as regular teachers. Man, I was a long-term sub running a band program.
Wow.
Like, you know how humiliating that is? But nobody know that because a lot of us don't like to tell our not so good, stories that, we want to cover up. But, man, somebody need to hear that because it can help somebody. I got students that failing now, and I'm like, look, you can still make it. Don't give up.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be easy, but nothing in life gonna be easy. So you keep pushing. You keep trying to pass that test. You keep studying, and you keep working hard, and you will be successful.
Yep.
But that's what we got to do as educators, man. You got to tell them what you failed at, so your story can speak to what it is. It's called a testimony.
Yeah.
Tell your story to these young people so they know that, man, life ain't gonna be easy. Yeah, but you're gonna make it.
That's a good point. So you think about when you were 17, 18. You know how intimidating it was to see, like, you know where you want to get to, but then you see this guy, your director, your mentor, and they got it. They got the Benz, they got everything, whatever it is, you don't see what it took for them to get to that point. So it would be great that's a good point you made, man. I'm glad you actually said what you said about some of the failures and setbacks that you had, because I think if a lot more kids heard what it took for a lot of their mentors to get to where they were, man. So if you're watching this as a band director, man, don't just flex and show them, man, I got this. What did you do to get there, bro? Let them know where you failed at, things that they don't have to make your same mistakes, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to make your same mistakes. Just
right.
Yeah, but that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, man. But we need to all come together, though.
Yeah,
man. Seriously.
Yeah.
And I think the more that we stop thinking that this is a competition, because it's not a competition, man. We're trying to save these young people. That's what we do it for. Like our why is to save lives through music. That should be everybody's why, not to say, oh, our music better than your music, so they need to just disband your music because it ain't good. No, man, it's room at the top for everybody to be successful. And we all, as educators, we gotta, because we all talk, man. We have a good time on calls, but we don't get to show that and display that in public.
Well, we had a conversation in my Facebook group, the band room. We talked about how a lot of band directors are just introverts, man. It's like that whole kumbaya and this being expressive about that ain't happening because a lot of folks just live in their head, man. And that's the artists in general. You know what I'm saying? You got Prince, Michael Jackson. They were just in their heads. They weren't the most out there. So I think that's kind of we kind of faulted by that too as musicians, man. But I agree with you, bro. We have to find a way to broaden the bigger picture. We know we out there on a Saturday. It's a sport. Band is a sport. We go out there and we compete or whatever. But at the same time, man, we are in the business of saving lives. Man.
Yeah.
So, we can let's touch more on that, man, in another conversation, bro.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time, brother. As always, let everybody know how to reach you. I'm sure they know they can Google Human Jukebox.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely. My email is Kedric KEDRIC _ Taylor TAYLOR @SUBR.edu. All inspiring young seniors that inspire to be in the Human Jukebox. Just want an opportunity that don't know if you can make it, man. Give us, man, hit my email up, man. Seriously, man, we're looking for some musicians. We're looking for some students that want to, get better. And you might not be the best, but we'll help you get there. We definitely want some quality musicians in the program. So definitely give us a ring, and we'll be looking forward. But also our website, humanjukebox.com. Make sure y'all hit us up, man. We're looking for you, and you can find us on all our pages, man, and get the information because we have started our audition process. So we already getting geared up for next season. And, so we're going to have a concert band festival also. So any high school groups that, want to bring your group down to Southern University, the date will be coming out very soon. We're going to push all those dates out coming in January. So, man, y'all look forward. We definitely want to keep raising the bar for the standard. And we always pride ourselves on saying that SU is the standard. So keep on watching us, man, and following us, man, and hopefully, man, we can continue to put out some good quality information.
Awesome, man. Awesome. This has been the Director's Corner with Director Band, Southern University, Mr. Kedric Taylor, man. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash them like buttons. Do all that, man. Comment below, man. Let me know what you thought about this interview. I think it was a dope interview, man. Yeah, look forward to more in the future, bro. So, again, this has been the Director's Corner. Meet me on the 50. We'll check y'all next time. We out of here.
Time to go out some marching band.